Hey there, Lake Avenue Church family. I don't know if you're like me, but we got blown around pretty good last week. You heard Pastor Chuck talking about it in the service. Like him, I also live up in Altadena area, and we were also dark for a while. So you caught me taking a break between doing some cleanup and branches and leaves and all the stuff. But I want to give you a quick update this Friday about some of the things that are going on at Lake. I want you to know about. But first of all, I want to look ahead just a little bit into February, because on February 2nd next week, many of our Lake family will be celebrating Lunar New Year. So Sinjin Kuai Le to all my Mandarin-speaking friends, and pardon my bad Mandarin. But indeed, Happy New Year to you and your family. And as we know, the last 2 years has separated families a lot. So it is truly my prayer that you will be able to be gathered with family and friends in a way that maybe hasn't been as possible for the last couple years as you celebrate. We'll be looking forward to celebrating with some of our friends in the next week as well. When we talk about what's ahead in the week, we should probably start with this weekend. Pastor Mathew John will continue our series of true stories with his message titled 3 Trees. You have to just come find out what that's all about. But Pastor Mathew John, our pastor of missional outreach, will be bringing the message this weekend. We also have a very beautiful story to share with you of life transformed as part of that message. I think you'll be really encouraged in your own story as we continue with true stories. Looking ahead, big things on the horizon. As you well know, if you've been part of the Lake family for the last couple years at least, you know that behind the scenes there has been a bylaw renewal process underway. Some of our former church chairs, actually covering all the way back to the 90s, have gathered together, and they began working almost 2 years ago. They interacted with so many of us in the congregation about what it would look like to renew our bylaws so that we might be greater facilitators of all that God wants to do. Well, we are getting close to moving forward with that, and so very shortly in the week ahead, keep your eyes open. You'll be learning about the opportunity to read the draft for the new bylaws, how to engage in some conversations. Many of you already have, and we'll continue that process moving forward, though, in a more complete way as our ministry council has completed their work around it. And we look forward to sharing that with you in the next week as we begin moving toward adopting those. We prayerfully hope early in this spring quarter of the year. Well, that's what's looking ahead. Also, with looking ahead in mind, February 6th. I got a bunch of February 6th things for you. Starting with Alpha. Alpha we host every spring. And again, you've heard it, and I want you to hear it again. Alpha is a great place to introduce people to the story of Jesus. Absolutely. But for many of us, it's also the place where we get grounded in our foundation. Just this past week, we've had a builder here working on connecting our house to the foundation. We have this airspace underneath our home, but our home was never bolted to the foundation. So come earthquake time, it does this. So we had it bolted to the foundation for safety's sake. I tell you that because Alpha, for many of us, has been a bolting of understanding what this is all about, or this Christian walk we do and faith we live out, but bolting it to the foundations of our faith in ways that maybe has helped us understand it really deeply for the first time. So I want to encourage you, if you have never taken an Alpha, then now's the time. Sign up, register online. You can find the information below me. But this is a great time to do it and to really get bolted to the firm foundation. Baptisms, if you've not been baptized, we'll be having on February 6th the baptism orientation with Pastor Mathew. You can find registration for that below. And also on February 6th, we will launch our gathering service. That's on Sunday evening. You can find that information below. And especially this is in mind with we have one service on Sundays. This is really in particular to serve all of you who volunteer in so many different areas on Sunday morning. We want to have an opportunity to gather together to worship. So with special emphasis and focus on the leaders of our church, those who are serving on Sunday morning, as well as our elected leadership, all of you who serve. We want to create a unique worship space so that we might come together and God might fill us even as we give ourselves and pour ourselves out for others in the ministry here at Lake. All right, Lake, I got to get back to it because there is still a lot of stuff in my yard. I hope you're having a good week and look forward to seeing you this weekend. So long.